Hello, world, and welcome to yet another edition of Where Were You? My name is Joel Beck. My co-host Chad Conkey could not be here today. He had a last-minute thing. He specifically sends his regards to both of my quite capable fill-in co-hosts that I have here today for this very special. First, let me just say what we're doing today. The Super Bowl's coming up. I thought it would be fun to go find some people who I know in my life who have fond memories of the Super Bowl. And so that's why one of these people I happen to be married to. Would the one I'm married to want to raise your hand? Ladies and gentlemen, Melissa Beck, thank you so much for being here. How is everything downstairs? I see the cat is lying on the bed behind us. Exactly where it spends.
This is a regular work day.
It's just a regular work day.
Yeah. Hi, Opal.
I'm thrilled to finally be on this podcast, by the way, because, from inception to behind the scenes producer, I'm like, finally.
Yeah, 100%. I know. And you kind of watched it kind of go through the, you kind of got to see the sausage being made here from soup to nuts, as they say. So I appreciate you taking the time, my love. Joining her is her ride or die, her bestie, my sister wife. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jenn Davis. And
awesome.
The reason I've asked you both here today is I don't know if you've heard in the news that the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks are squaring off in the Super Bowl. Of course, you know this. Because you two are the I think the craziest Seattle Seahawks fans I know. This is the first time I'm actually outnumbered here tonight for a couple of reasons. A, I'm a New England Patriots fan, and I've got two Seahawks fans. I know, and I'd like to welcome you. I'd like to congratulate you both because you are the first female guests ever to appear on Where Were You? Girls as players too. I know, right?
So. Yes.
We're excited. Look, Jen and I were talking about this. We don't know if we can go as deep into like the historical archive details that you typically do with some of your guests, but all the heart and emotion and joy is coming in here for this one. So.
Bingo. And the two of you grew up in or spent most of your formative years growing up in the Seattle area. And it's not easy being a Seattle fan, right? Because you got your Mariners, who they're the only baseball team in the MLB that's never been to a World Series. You got your Sonics, who are no longer there, and then you got your Seahawks, who have their ups and downs. Now you got but they've had their moments of glory. So, but just talk to me about what it was like, Missy. Why don't we start with you? What was it like growing up as a Seattle fan back in the heyday?
Well, I don't know if you feel like this, Jen, but I feel like, people in Seattle are obviously diehard sports fans, as is every, I think, major city who has all these teams, right? Everyone loves their people. But I feel like when you're up that far north, I think people forget about you and they're like, oh, yeah, Seattle's got stuff up there. And so we're all just like in our own little island. So, and because we haven't always done well, we have had like our moments, but we haven't done well. You just feel like you're really on your island. We're just like rooting for each other. And does anyone even know we play football? I don't know. So I mean, like, I don't know. Like, we've always sucked like our whole lives, like at least my whole life on all the things when,
on.
I know you talked about the 95 Mariners on one of these things and you know how much I love that, but like, that was our first blip of like, woo, okay, we might have something.
Yeah.
The Sonics, look, that's Jen's area, but yeah, that was a bummer. And so the Seahawks, like that, coming around was like, for the first time, I felt like, wow, we actually, I think people understand who we are now, where we're at. So it's exciting, but it was growing up. It just felt like I was kind of on an island of sporting fans. I don't know if you felt that way, Jen, but.
Yeah, a little bit. Because for me, as a military brat, we actually were overseas quite a bit. And so the Seattle area was our first US-based assignment. So for once, I felt like I have a home, right? Not that the other places I lived in weren't great in their own, respects, but it was our first US location. And it happened to be right when the Mariners were in the top of their game. I'm not a baseball fan. You guys know this. I'm a bandwagon Padres fan. So I never cared for baseball, but my dad loves baseball. So when we were there during my junior high years and we had, what was it, like Edgar Martinez, Ken Griffey Jr., all those like really insane, talented players, I kind of got into that like Mariners hype. But for me, the like being a Seattle sports fan just really kind of anchors me to like a community that I've always cherished. And for the first time feeling like I had a home in the US. So that's sort of my like little touching moment. Now it makes like when our wins are wins and when we're doing great, like that much more like exciting, right? Because for the most part, we go through a lot of roller coasters and heartache. So when we're at the top of the game, like we are now with the Seahawks, I'm just like, okay, we need this. We need this glimmer of hope, especially with everything else going on in the world. But
So the high highs, there's been high highs and low lows. Let's start with the high highs. So the Seahawks were very fortunate to win a Super Bowl. It was 2013 season, I
Mhm.
believe. Talk to me about what that feeling was like for you. It was Super Bowl, what was it, 40? I gotta look it up. Is there somewhere we can look it up? Where's my producer?
don't
You
make
don't
me
know
do it
Anyways,
because I'll have to translate those Roman numerals. I'll get
Yeah,
lost.
exactly. I'm like, I don't know.
And my memory of both the Super Bowl showings is like you and I were like fish out of water, right? We're like the two Seahawks fan in Bay Area territory, 49ers country, and like that rivalry is so intense. So, we had some of our closest friends who were diehard 49ers fans, and I think I just remember us being in the living room, and to me it was a doozy of the game because we like blew the Denver Broncos out of the water, and I got
right.
very bored like into the second quarter. I was like, is this even going to be a game? So I actually kind of
I'm
got
glad you
bored,
said
but
this because this is what Missy has complained to me about for so many years. That Go ahead, I'll let you tell the story how
Well,
you
okay,
felt
so
about
here's
that
how I
Super Bowl.
feel about it, and thank you for jogging me that we actually were together during that Super Bowl too. But, okay, so here's how I feel about it. I was telling Joel this at dinner the other night. I was like, "Look, I feel so bad saying like, God, what a boring Super Bowl. It's our first Super Bowl. We should have been." I mean, I was so grateful. I'm so grateful we won, but that's not the kind of game you wanna watch that, like, you want that 2014 Super Bowl, unfortunately, where it's, like, down to the wire and you're just, like, your
yeah.
hair's coming out and you're crying, you're sweating, and it's, like, the whole thing. I'm super glad that we won. Look, it was a great boost for the city and all that stuff, but that was the most boring football game I've ever watched, ever, I think. It's just
Yeah.
like, okay, yay.
As many Super Bowls have been. I mean, I feel like in my childhood there were so many. The score was always 52-5 or 10, whatever, and it's like,
Right.
and yeah, you're happy. I'm sure you were thrilled, um, but yeah, it just kind of was like, well, all right.
But
Now,
did you
as much as the maybe that Super Bowl wasn't a high point, you guys did have a fun Seahawks related memory together. Did you guys go to a game in London? Um,
We did
when
not
the
go to the
Seahawks were
game.
playing?
We
I
did
thought
not
you,
go.
but you were there when it was
Yes.
happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were there for we were celebrating Jen's birthday. I think we had, like, a little turning of an era birthday, and so we were in London, and I think we knew the Seahawks were gonna be there that weekend.
Yeah, they were doing their
Was my
international game against the Raiders, yes, and we were
Yes.
at the
Yes,
Okay.
we
Seahawks
did.
bar, and we ended up at a
Yeah.
Seahawks bar, so as close to being at the game as you can be without being at the game, so it was Barrow Boy and what was that bar's name?
Barrow
Barrow Boy
Boy and Banker.
Banker,
Right
yes.
in the Borough Market, Barrow Boy and Banker, right around the corner. I actually just went by it in a taxi last time I was in London. I was like, "Rah." Um, so the interesting thing about these London games, and I've been in London a couple times when these games have gone on. Obviously, tons of Americans come over, and it's kinda gross because they have all their jerseys on, and you're like, there there they are. But there's something and Fred, I don't know if you remember how this happened because I know we asked about it. These teams, either the fans or the team sort of designate, like, a bar for the week or whatever, a pub or something like that.
Yep.
And so that's where all the fans go to, whether you're going to the game, you're going before, you're just gonna
Mhm.
stay and watch the game, whatever it is. And so the Banker Boy and Barrow is where this place was, and I'll let Jen tell because she has all the videos, but that place was off the chain. I've never seen anything like not even in America have I seen anything like that.
Yeah, it was quite adorable because I noticed 2 things that we were laughing about afterwards on the tube. Number 1, like, there was people in, like, random jerseys that weren't either the Raiders or the Seahawks. It was just like, I'm in my Pittsburgh jersey because 'cause I'm guessing they're just like, "Whatever jersey," you show up to an American football game,
Right.
viewing, so
They
that
just
was
have a
pretty
hat that
cute. But
says
do you remember
NFL
that
on it,
one
like yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was it was really adorable,
Sports.
and then do you remember the chant that one guy started? So they have these great
Yes.
chants, like, Americans could never, but this one dude got the whole bar hyped up, and it was, "Russell Wilson's having a party," and he just said it over and over, everyone chimes in at the end, he's like, "Go Hawks," with his, like, British accent, and
Go
it just, like,
Hawks.
got the vibe up,
Go
and we were
Hawks.
screaming. Yeah, we were screaming because 'cause we're like, "That is adorable."
But
Yeah, so fun.
it's a phrase that we say in our house a lot, and even my daughters say it. It's better to say it in the British accent, which is Russell Wilson's having a party, and it's isn't that how?
Yeah,
Oh my
kinda
gosh,
sounded like
we have
that. It
insert
was
that video in here, we'll get it to you, but it is wild, and I think we asked afterwards, I'm like, "Wait, are you guys British?" Like, I just assumed, like, most of these people were American,
Americans
like,
that
when we
just
went
came
in,
out for it or lived there. Yeah. No.
and I think the majority of them were actually British, and we're like, "Why do you like American football?" And I think it's, like, we probably have fascinations with other sort of
Yeah.
sports, like, in other countries, but man, they were rabid, and it was so fun. I feel like that's sort of like I've never been to, like, a British soccer game, but I feel like that's what it would be like, right? Like, it was just like,
All
Mhm.
right, I have to bring up a sore subject, but it's the elephant in the room, but I think it's the moment that defines Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots lore. I'm going to try my hardest not to be smug about it. I just really want to know what it was like, because the year after that Super Bowl where the Seahawks played the Broncos, of course they met up with the Patriots, and it got down to the wire. The Patriots were ahead by 4 points, but the Seahawks were on the goal line about to score, and it didn't happen.
Mhm.
Ta Talked oh boy, it's very quiet in here. I feel like we're
faces are
having
definitely
fun. I feel like we're having fun, and I just, like, kicked your puppy in front of you.
Ugh.
Um,
you just did, like, the Patriots deflated balls.
Yeah.
oh
Oh
boy, here we
god,
go.
yeah. Remember that.
It's been
Um
a while. Maybe come up with a new,
We don't have anything else
jab.
on you guys, like, yeah. I don't know, Jen, you talk about it because I mean, you go first because I mean, set the tone because I think it was you that were like, "Yeah, we gotta go here to do" like, I didn't even know. I was
Yeah.
kinda along with you, really.
Yeah, so that year we got out of Ramona, we didn't watch it in the house. We went, a few blocks away to, Danny Coyle's, which is an Irish bar, but it's a local Seahawks bar in San Francisco. And then, like, a few steps next door is, like, one of the many 49ers bars, so as you can imagine, that street gets a little heated on those games. But, anyways, yeah, we were at Danny Coyle's, we had gotten barbecue delivered. Remember, we're in that very back, and then they had the
Oh,
buckets
yeah,
of
we actually
Corona,
had
and
seats and everything,
yeah, we're
like,
just like,
we had
"Keep it coming."
we're like, "We're here."
Yeah, and we ended up making friends with other Seattleites who were in town, and, at the end when it was, like, the nail biter, we're, like, holding hands, but what was great, to Mrs. earlier point, was this game was the caliber of game we've always wanted, so, like, we went from, like, blowing out the Broncos the year before, coming back for potential repeat, and it was, like, the game, right? And it was like, "Oh my god, the glory if we were to just do this to the Pats specifically," and I remember holding hands with, like, Missy on one side and then, like, the stranger on the other side. We're,
Oh.
like, sitting there, and I'm like, "Okay, this is perfect because we have Marshawn Lynch, there's no excuse. You could have farted that ball across the goal line, like, honestly." And so when I saw what ended up happening, I was like, "Wait, did I just, like, pass out for a second and dream, like, the worst case scenario? Because excuse me? Like, no way. This is not reality." So,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
we left there defeated, but do you remember, I hate to admit this, and this is not my character, those who are tuning in, but, we were leaving, we're outside, it was me, you, and Dave Lee. We were leaving, and a Pats fan saw me because, we're in our jerseys, and he kinda did the, like, little heckling, and I was ready to go to jail. I was like, "Bring it." I was ready to throw some hands, and Dave had to hold me back, and then I started crying
Went
again
from
for round
crying
2.
to, like, this, like, rage, and it was like, "All right, we're going home. There's nothing else here for us." Like,
Yeah, yeah, it
yeah, we've
just,
never I think a couple things on it. So we've never had to get that hyped up, right? Where, like, we've never been in that close of a fight, I think, as a Seattle fan, sort of going
Mhm.
to your first
Right.
question, right? Like, we've always done sometimes well in a season, but not enough to really sort of get to that point or get to a finish line like that.
There was
Or
never that kind of gut punch like
yeah,
that
never like
before.
that. We've
Right.
never had a gut punch with the exception of we just never get anywhere, right? So
Right.
that's a gut punch, but it's different, right? So
Yeah.
and you're reminding me, God, when we got into that place, we got there so early, which is
We
so not
did.
like,
Camped out.
yeah, we camped out to get seats. We got all this stuff ordered, and I do remember it's coming back to me now, and I think I probably blocked it out. I remember sweating profusely throughout
Oh, yeah.
the entire second half. Totally talking to people I'll never saw again,
Mhm.
and I just remember we were up close to whatever like TV screen that was there that we were sitting next to. And I just, to your point, I think I blacked out. I'm like, did I miss that play? Did I miss that play? Did I blink when that
Yeah.
thing happened? I'm like, what
It
happened?
was
Like,
yeah,
we should have
I
won.
I
What
was in
happened?
disbelief. I watched it too, and I was cheering for the Patriots, and there was a few seconds of not knowing what I didn't know what happened. I'm like,
No.
'cause
I
it
think
just
everyone was a little confused. We're all just like, "Wait, did we win?" I think Jen, we
yeah.
thought we won. I
We
think
did.
we cheered for a hot minute.
Yes, and this is not the most eloquent sports analysis that you'll ever get, but, like, I feel like for any team in that moment, the obvious, like, play would have been the run play, right? But
Sure.
you have
Yeah.
freaking Marshawn Lynch. There is just no
I
excuse.
know.
Again, like, you could have, like, spat the
It'll
ball over, like, oh,
it'll
goodness.
always go down as in Pete Carroll's, legacy as the what if. I honestly don't think it was as bad of a call as everybody. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but if Russell Wilson has a party and throws the ball correctly to who it was supposed to go to, then nobody's talking about this. And
You're right, right? I mean,
True.
like, look, execution at the end of the day has to happen, no
Yeah.
matter what the call is. And, I was sort of mad at Pete Carroll, even though I adore him. But I was like, but you're right. When you put it that way, it's like either way, they didn't get it done. It's just they didn't get it done. But it was just, especially because it was the Patriots. I'm
well,
sorry. I'm sorry.
you're leading me right into my next thing because guess what? You guys got a chance to make amends. How excited are you both for what's going to happen in a week and a half?
I'm jazzed because it's a whole different generation of team on both sides, right? It's
Sure.
it's it's
Yeah.
it's been
Coach,
like over a decade for us. I don't
Yep.
remember when the Pats were
Yeah.
last there because I don't care, but, and, there's part of me that has this wild wish of, like, maybe a one-day contract with Marshawn Lynch just so that they can put him back on that 1-yard line and see him, like, bring that to fruition, but a girl can dream. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good game. I think it'll be like the nail biter, kind of rush that we want versus a blowout of any sort, so.
Look, I cried last week, just like a little tear because I mean, Joel and I, look, we've been watching football for the last whatever 5-6 weeks, just kind of leading up to this, and
Mhm.
I was like, "There's no way that we're gonna get a rematch." I mean, I would
Yeah.
love it in a perfect world. I want redemption. I'm like, it's never gonna happen. Either they're gonna get there, we're gonna get there, or neither of us are gonna get there. But like, no way. And when it
I'm
kept
going
getting
to tell
closer,
you.
closer, closer, I was like,
Yeah. No, I envisioned this months ago. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just had this gut feeling that this was going to happen, and here we are.
so.
So, Jen, I'm going to tell you how the Super Bowl is going to shake out for Missy and I. So, I don't know if you know this.
Alright.
We're going to Chicago that weekend
Okay.
because we're celebrating my birthday in Chicago,
Happy early
and we're
birthday.
thank you. I wasn't fishing for compliments or birthday wishes. It's just a fact. But so we're gonna be driving on Sunday, probably as the Super Bowl is going on, and we'll be listening to it on the radio, and I feel like this is
Oh.
how it has to be. There's gonna be
Probably
no
better this way.
distractions.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be you and I. I'm not gonna be a jerk. You're not gonna be a jerk. We're just gonna enjoy it, and it's either gonna be silent or raucous. I can't tell you
Are you
which,
guys
but
gonna be drawing up divorce papers when you arrive in Cleveland?
Something throwing
but no
someone off
one
the road.
no
I
one
don't
will
know.
ever no one will ever know what went on in that car other than she and I, and what happens in that car ride will stay in that car ride. So
I
I'm
will
I'm
say
I'm
this, and I'm gonna look, this is now on tape and people can whatever. If they don't win this game, if the Seahawks do not win this game, I will double cry. Whatever we, felt in that, 11 years ago, I can't.
ugh.
Twice. Twice.
I mean, look, I'm gonna manifest winning. Look, Joel, I love you, but this is not gonna be a birthday wish I grant you. So, but
I appreciate
they're,
that.
they're gonna win because I'm manifesting it. But if they don't, I hope that it's not through what felt like a botched decision or botched play like last time. Like
Right.
lose because that's just the
Well
way it
earned.
played out, right? Like we just need to soften that blow just a little bit. But again, we don't need to worry about that because the Hawks got it. So
Good stuff.
And
Well,
I'll tell you, look, I can say this, like, Joel, you know this because you're from Boston. You're from a sports team, a very winning sports team between the Red Sox, the Celtics, the Bruins, the Patriots. Like, this is something people in Massachusetts are used to all the time. We've
mhm.
we've had this once. We've
right.
had like that sort of celebration in Seattle one time, one sport, 1 year. That's it. So
I
I
I
feel
hear
like
you.
Seattle
Yeah.
needs, I'm even though I don't live there anymore, I feel like they need it.
And look, if it were
Here, here.
if it were any other team, I would be all in on the Seahawks. It's in my blood, you know. I live in Cleveland now, and I actually watch the Browns a lot. I follow the Browns a lot. I may even know more about the Browns right now than I do about the Patriots, but I can tell you that if when the Browns square off against the Patriots, every New England part of me comes out again, and I'm pro Patriots all over again. So
The
it's
only
just the way
people
I'm
that are
wired.
Patriots are people who are in Massachusetts, from Massachusetts, or whatever. I'm telling you right now, my PT person, anyone I've ever talked to, like, yeah, I mean, no doubts. Yeah, we're rooting for Seattle.
This is amazing. I cannot thank you both for coming on here, and I wish you, in all seriousness and in all honesty, I wish you both the best of luck. It's going to be a lot of fun. And who? Oh, wait a minute, we forgot. Who is Matcha rooting for? Does everybody know Matcha the Wonder Dog? Jen's your other ride or die. Does is Matcha going to
Yes.
join us at all on on the podcast? Does
I can go grab her. Give me 2
Go
seconds.
go grab her.
Watson is a diehard sports fan, or at least whatever her mom tells
And
her.
for the record, she's rooting for the Hawks.
Is
Yes.
she having
There she is. Oh,
Wow.
she's in a
Do you really have that dog in a Seahawks jersey?
Well,
Oh
it's a
my
bandana.
gosh.
I was trying to get it on there
Oh, it's
really
a
fast, but she
bandana.
was
Oh,
she
I
wasn't
see.
having it.
Okay.
She doesn't like clothes, so she likes to celebrate naked.
Well, I
She's she's not amused right now
Jen,
at all.
Jen, if the Seahawks win, something tells me you'll be celebrating naked too. You'll just be running around the streets of San Diego, you know, but
We're all going streaking.
friend. I wish we were together watching this. I'll tell you one thing, like not having any sort of Seahawks fans around. Like
Yeah.
I really wish we were together.
This
Jen,
has been great. This has been a lot of fun. The show is called Where Were You? That's where we are. Chad Konecki sends his regards to both of you. You can find us on social media. You can find us on the Facebook. You can find us on the X. You can find us on the Instagram, the TikToks. You can find us on YouTube, Apple, iHeart, Spotify, wherever you find your silly little podcasts. But to Melissa Beck, mwah, to Jenn Davis, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for
Thanks for
doing this.
having us. This was fun.
go
This has
Hawks,
been
go Hawks,
Go
go.
Hawks. Thanks so much, everybody. This is Where Were You?
Thank you.
Woohoo.